the copyright, so it's going to look a little bit mixed up, but you'll get the gist of it. We'll be pausing frequently, and I'll link the full episode in the pinned comment. It's on Daily Motion. We get also in this episode, Trump creates for himself a cat. Here it is right here. Season 1, Episode 3, September 26th, with 96 days left in the year. Now, this is important because the actor who voices Trump died at 96 years old. And he was born on 119-1919. This is Mr. Trump here. And the actor that played him, Alan Young. Here's Alan Young, born on 119-1919. At 96 years old, he died during the year that Trump became president. Now let's keep going with this. So, you're going to see Trump create for himself a cat. You're going to see him wish himself riches. A Roman Colosseum. EMF towers. It's unreal. As if the past is meeting the future. Now, before we get into this, what's happening here? What is happening here? Well, your mind will try and write this off as Trump trolling, even back in 1981. You're going to want to try to rationalize this in your mind because it's so unbelievable. But use your critical thinking and ask yourself, if this is Trump trolling, is the left using what you're going to see next to troll Trump? Are they actually bringing this episode up to use against Trump in any way, shape, or form? The answer is no. In fact, Katie had to dig to find this episode. Now, I don't know if any other channels have found this or where she found it or how she found it, but literally nobody until now even remembers this episode. So is it really Trump trolling? No, it is not. So what are we left with in terms of trying to figure out why they would make this kind of episode about Trump? We're left with one thing: demonic sorcery. Magic imprinted on the minds of children. The kind of magic that the entire world would suffer decades later. Magic that turned people off to Trump's actions and has them listening to his words instead. The kind of magic that passed China 5G and beyond in plain sight with no protest. The kind of magic that allowed the father of warp speed to create a smack the nation, a national ID, red flag laws, and spending us into hyperinflation at $6.6 trillion. And that is some very strong magic to allow that to happen in plain sight with no protest and no resistance. Let's get started. This is unbelievable. The fantastic Mr. Trump right there in your face. Now this is doom. Let's get started here. Now, let's back this up, because the episode opens with Doom working with a man from Latveria, which of course is Bavaria, which is where Trump's father is from. Let's get the volume up here so you guys can hear this. Now, I couldn't even believe this. I just opened this up this morning at 4 a.m. in the morning. I woke up, I saw Katie's email, and I was like, there's no way. And I found the episode, and this is what you guys are going to see today. There you you see it? Latveria, like Bavaria.
Master? Go forth and bring me the final piece of the amulet. I must say the mystic words within the hour.
So he tells him to bring him the amulet. So Doom has this guy steal an amulet that will give him power to pull energy out of the sky through a radio tower. Now, if that sounds familiar to you, it should. That's Tesla technology, the power of the universe. Listen.
Then I, Victor Von Doom, will possess the power of the universe. Now let the transference of power begin.
The basketball game.
You forgot your umbrella.
The basketball game.
You forgot your umbrella.
Spider-Man runs out of the house, forgets his umbrella, which of course is the syringe.
No time, Aunt May. I'm late for the
Words within the hour. Birds of power begin.
Mr. Frump.
Then Spider-Man meets Mr. Frump, realizes that he knew his Aunt May.
Didn't you used to do odd jobs for my aunt, May Parker?
May Parker. What a great game!
Jobs for my aunt, May Parker?
May Parker. She was so nice to me. It would be wonderful to see her again.
You never know when good luck will strike.
Sure. To me.
She liked you, too. It's a shame you lost your job.
The story of my life.
Don't worry, Mr.
So then Doom starts building his tower. He draws a pentagram, which of course is super creepy. This is a children's show, you guys, with satanic references in it. But let's get to the point of this. Because Trump then discovers part of this amulet, which gives him special powers to literally create reality.
Turn on the transmitter. I will mix the ancient with the new. Science with
Now, Doom has the amulet, and he prepares the 5G tower to receive power to mix the ancient with the new, to create a cosmic ray, which sounds a lot like Tesla's death ray.
Turn on the transmitter. Lord of all the earth and beyond. Mystic words on the amulet will create a cosmic ray that will make me Lord of all the earth.
You a head start.
Is just what I need.
Spider-Man then discovers the tower, and it's all about antennas, right? You see the antenna on your screen here.
That tower is just what I need. It is, but anything Doom's doing is worth undoing.
Our Umaga prevail. Whoever holds the amulet when the ray returns will become the most powerful being in the universe.
Invitation?
You fool! Whoever holds the amulet when the ray returns.
Then, of course, Frump gets a hold of his part of the amulet. The ray, cosmic ray, comes from the sky, hits the 5G tower. And that's when Trump gets his special powers.
Twins will become the most powerful being in the universe.
Hey, gee, what's this? Broke it. Nothing ever goes right for me.
You interfering insect.
Where's Spidey?
I thought he was behind me. We don't want Doom to have his morning eggs.
No job for you. Bug off.
No job for you. That's kind of like the you're fired thing. Tells him to bug off. As basically Trump goes in to try to find a job. And what ends up happening, the store owner turns the store owner into a bug. Now here's what's important. You're going to notice all this twinning behind Trump because he is a Gemini. And you're going to see that behind him. Watch.
Your sign says.
You heard me. Bug off.
He doesn't realize he has the power to make reality. But he does. And so when the store owner tells him to bug off, he says, you bug off. And it turns him into a bug. But look at the twin rackets. Look at the twin pans. Look at the twin lamps. That's the Gemini. So there's something about that and Trump. Let's keep watching.
Oh, you bug off.
That is just an expression.
It is mine. Give it to me.
You're going to notice lots of walls. Now, I'm not going to sit here and claim that this was about the wall that Trump built, but there is a focus on it. Let's keep watching.
There are dead bodies.
Looks like he lives in a...
Now, Trump doesn't realize at this point that he has the ability to make reality. But it's interesting because we know that the Antichrist will have the ability to call down fire out of heaven in the sight of men with a simple command. I'm not saying he's the Antichrist. I'm saying there's something going on here. What is this about? Now, at this point, these children start mocking Trump, and they call him Funny Frump. That's FF, or 66 alphanumerically, which is the Apollo number.
Garbage dump!
Oh, go jump in the lake.
Let's back that up so you can hear Funny Frump.
It is mine. Give it to me.
Over our dead bodies.
Funny Frump, looks like he lives in a garbage dump.
Oh, go jump.
Now notice the garbage dump reference, just like Grump in Sesame Street episode. It was about the garbage, remember? And here's the same thing. They say he looks like he lived in a garbage dump. So Trump then tells them to go jump in the lake, which is probably like the swamp.
In the lake.
Look, it's weird old Frump. Funny Frump. You're weird, Frump.
You clam up.
I am prepared for anything.
Look at the wall. They're still around this wall.
Instant refrigeration.
Armor.
Or I will crush.
A hot dog. But I like it with mustard and relish.
So the magician starts creating reality. This is shocking. This is literally shocking.
Hot dog.
Release it, or I...
Then, of course, the man in the mirror, the Gemini, twinning. There's lots of images out there in our modern times of Trump looking at himself in a mirror.
Oh my, this this will never do. Hey, a hot dog.
So now that he realizes that he has the ability to create reality, he starts asking for things like to be rich. He also asks for a cat. Now, I believe, unfortunately, we're going to do a show on this the next couple days, that the cat represents a virus just like a bat does. We haven't seen that particularly manifest in our reality yet, but I can tell you this. We're going to be covering a research paper that released on Halloween of this year that compares cats to bats and their ability to basically jump from animals to humans and transmit viruses. Just a few weeks ago, this paper released, so we're going to be covering that in a future show. I don't know what that means for the future, but I will tell you that it's not good, because we've already seen clues about the cat being the next big thing. Now, what is Trump's cat's name in this cartoon? Mabel. And I believe that's Abel mockery.
Oh my, this be my foot servants. I want new shoes and fancy clothes. And a gilded carriage with 6 black horses. And those...
Now, the gilded carriage with 6 black horses, you could argue this is Apollo's chariot. Possibly. Let's keep watching here.
nasty boys will be my foot servants. Wonderful. I'll call you Mabel. Be my friend forever and ever. Servants. I want someone special to be my friend forever and ever.
Must help Firestar.
The others surrender.
More walls.
Storm, be gone. I want rainbows and pretty clouds. I want bright colors and red carpeting everywhere.
This would be mine.
More brick walls.
Do it? Honest.
More brick walls.
That's a good question, Mabel. How did I get these powers? Let the answer be revealed.
The time has come
To disappear?
give them to you with a
I am Lord Trump.
He then starts calling himself Lord Frump. Now, what I want you to notice as well is the fire and ice theme here. Superman's friends are fire and ice. I can't remember their exact names, but they're fire and ice. Now, what does this mean? Well, this points back to Back to the Future. Marty jumping through time at 88 miles an hour in a blaze of fire. But then when he arrives on the other side in 1985, which is 58 backwards, the DeLorean is frozen in ice. Ice and fire. Now, if you think I'm making this up, when he arrives in 1985, 58 backwards, there's a Reverend John Crump on the movie billboard, Assembly of Christ. Wow. Fire and ice. So we have repeating themes. It's pretty much undeniable at this point, isn't it? It's undeniable we have this repeating theme of fire and ice. Let's keep watching here.
How did I get my powers?
I, Dr. Doom, gave them to you. Destroy 3 terrible enemies. Spider-Man, Firestar, and
What are you doing?
He was about to fire his sonic ray.
I don't believe you. Dr. Doom is right. You are my enemies. Dr. Doom is right. You are my enemies.
The amulet. It's stone too.
Peter just loves my homemade chocolate cake. Mr. Trump, what are you doing in my kitchen? Oh, dear! What have you done?
Don't worry. Look, I can restore them. Be alive again. Give me a palace.
So then he starts asking for more riches. He asks for a palace. He asks for all the money in the world. This is unbelievable.
We don't need her.
Me up.
I will crush you.
Never mind that. Watch. I want all the money in the world.
I will crush you in half.
If you can have anything, why do you need money?
Give me the world's largest car. A supergiant TV set. I want to have fun.
Yes, of course. You should be entertained like a Roman emperor.
So far, historic is a senior burner
Of course, you should be entertained like a Roman emperor.
Yes. I want a Roman arena.
He then asks for a Roman arena, as you just heard him, and he asks for an alien creature that looks like a Hydra.
Idea, Dr. Doom.
We've got our powers back.
Three-headed dog monster Cerberus appear.
Be as Dr. Doom says.
Destroy them before they can attack us.
But I can't think of anything.
An alien.
Yes! Let the weirdest creature in the universe appear.
And there's your Hydra. Now, these are all concepts that we had already identified related to Trump, haven't we? And the thing that he invented through warp speed.
Think of anything.
An alien.
Yes! Let the weirdest creature in the universe appear.
He then turns himself into Wonder Frump. This is no joke.
Not Aunt May.
Wonder Frump.
But save her.
Yes, I'll save her. I am Wonder Frump.
Now, I almost peed my pants when he said this. I couldn't believe it. Wonder Frump. Remember the Superman after he got sick and he opened he said he was Superman? This is unbelievable. Now, why did he turn himself into a superhero? Well, it was so he could save Aunt May from the Hydra that he created by wishing it. Let's keep watching here. So he kills the Hydra.
The most powerful superhero in the world. I'll take you all on.
We don't want to fight you.
You're no fun. Be rooted to the spot. Hey!
Keep all the pieces of the amulet.
We can't trust you.
You.
This really is a day of miracles. The Spider Friends working with Dr. Doom. Instant. You're cruel and arrogant. And I don't...
You're arrogant. So this is the accusation against Trump, that he's arrogant. And he actually is, but that's the judgment against us as Christians. That we actually believe that an arrogant, pompous person serves God. That is our judgment. For those who believe this man, it is our judgment. Because it is the opposite of the fruits of the Spirit that God said our leaders should have. The opposite. But we allowed it because he was taking it to the left, and we were so afraid of the left that we allowed ourselves to believe in him. Now, what you're going to hear next will seal the deal beyond the shadow of a doubt, because he's literally going to do a ritual called MAGA. And I'm going to play it back a couple of times so you can hear it. Hopefully the volume's loud enough. And this is what finally convinced me that Trump is in fact a real magician.
To me, Trump, master of the universe.
Take me back this instant.
Left. Mabel. Hey, Parker. I have one true friend left. Mabel.
Told your power will disappear in an hour.
I don't believe you.
It's true. That's what he told us.
Recreate the storm.
Storm, come again as before.
I must turn on my transmitter. All is ready. Give me the amulet.
I don't know about this, guys.
Umaga prevail. Give me the amulet.
I don't know about this, guys.
Umaga prevail.
Let Arluma
By the mystic rod of Trail.
by the mystic rugged trail.
Let Umaga prevail.
MAGA.
Let Arlumaga prevail. Let Arlumaga prevail.
So there's the ritual. He raises the amulet in the air, sending the power through the 5G tower.
Amulet doesn't look right. Sure, Doom switched it. He's holding the real one.
Yes.
You guys stop Doom.
Then we see the second umbrella of the episode, confirmation of the first umbrella mentioned. It's at sub-zero temperatures, 2 umbrellas, 2 injections that need to be stored at sub-zero temperature.
Bolts of lightning. Strike.
I'll hold off the lightning. You guys stop Doom.
If you move, I'll destroy her. You've ruined everything. The power is gone forever.
I order my world not to disappear.
Yes, you've ruined everything. The power is gone forever. The end of Lord Trump. In moments, we will not remember any of this.
So
I think
then there's some kind of weird mind wipe thing that happens here. Once the power is gone, their minds are wiped and they forget everything that happened. And I'm wondering if this is going to be the end result of all of this, of the microwave frequencies and and all this stuff. And then at the end of the episode, Spider-Man mentions Q.
I think that's our cue to get out of here.
Present day, just like it was before. Miserable.
I think that's our cue to get out of here.
It'll all be just like it was before. My job,
If you only knew.
I have no friends. She likes me.
you know? I can't believe that in a few moments, we're actually going to forget something as fantastic as this.
So there you go. Now, if it was just one or two elements of all this, I would say this whole thing was a stretch. But it's absolutely not just one or two elements. It's every single element that we've talked about. Now, again, I don't know if some other channels have made this discovery already, but hats off to Katie for finding this episode, aligning with everything we've found so far. Redeem says Ivana Maples, Marla Maples was like his second wife, or maybe his first wife. So maybe that's what Abel is. Maybe she's Mabel the cat. That's definitely a plausible explanation for that. In 1981, was he married to Marla Maples? I think he might have been. So maybe they were mocking her as the cat. Cat is all three wives. That's definitely a good guess there. Big JC fan. Absolutely, that could be it. What else? Now, again, the episode aired with 96 days left in the year, and the man that voiced Trump in that episode died at 96 years old the year that Trump became president in 2016. He was born on 11/19/1919. Do you think they knew that there would be a COVID-19? I think that may have been the case. I think it may have been the case. So, wow. Okay, I'm back in the chat. Let's see what's going on with you guys. I didn't realize how loaded these cartoons were. We've covered several of these cartoons. We covered a RoboCop cartoon. Remember that several weeks ago? Who would have guessed, right? And what is the purpose of putting this in a cartoon that only children watch? Literally, 10-year-olds were watching this stuff. I grew up in this era. I probably watched that very cartoon. What could possibly be the reason for that? It's not Trump trolling. And if you're willing... Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are enjoying your weekend so far. First, they gave us the carrot. They had lottery winnings and different perks. You could get free pizza, free... Doesn't give them the poison. Okay, so it's like picking and choosing who they want to survive, right?
Here you go. Okay. Medicine's an abomination. It's a sin against the gods.
So this is Duala, and she's a Sagittarian as well, but she doesn't believe the same way her people do. She's like mocking them. But listen to what she says here. Duality. Her name is Duala, the duality, the Gemini. She says a spike instead of a needle. Like a protein spike. In actuality, the needle does represent the spikes that crucified Christ. What do you mean, Casey? Just as Moses raised up a bronze serpent in the desert to save the Israelites, so too the Son of Man will be raised up on a cross or stake to save the world. Those were Jesus' words. Now, many believed up to this point that Jesus was comparing himself to the bronze serpent raised up on a pole, which is the caduceus, which is medicine. But in actuality, Jesus was contrasting himself, because the blue bronze serpent, why do I say blue bronze? Because bronze oxidizes into a blue color. Why do I say that? Because The bronze blue blood is different than the red bloodline of Christ, of Adam, that was preserved throughout the millennia so that Christ could be offered as a blemish-free sacrifice. Sacrifice without the leavening of the bread, without the sin. Pure, blemish-free sacrifice. And so, this is why the enemy has a counterpart of the spikes that crucified Christ, the nails that crucified Christ. The counterpart is the needle. Let's keep watching here.
More of a reason to be mad at them than you do. I am Sagittarian. Most of them are paranoid, pig-headed, and argumentative. Physicians are spreading disease because they refuse to acknowledge that the body,
There you go.
and the mind are myths. Anyone but coddle. Nearsighted bastard. You may as well use a spike instead of a needle.
Buckminster and his father are fundamentalists. What made them change their mind about getting immunized?
So Hilo continues his investigation, discovered that the doctor is giving them medicine against their will. So like a mandatory cure. Let's keep watching.
So you immunized the old man, but he still died.
They changed their mind. Who said they changed their mind? I administered the Betamucin on my own.
Without their consent. Her son showed symptoms. She immediately took him to Robert for treatment. The boy still died. The doctor's version of when he administered the drug greatly differed from that of Mrs. King.
Who?
The woman. King, the one I told you about, Mrs. King. In the other case, Robert treated a Sagittarian without the man's consent.
Well, that's something we probably should have done to all of them in the first place. This disease would have been gone by
Mandatory cure.
now.
Are you capable of doing a job? And are you going to stop making these unfounded accusations? Are you?
Notice a mockery. So it's Hilo that rings the alarm bells. Okay, obviously that's the same god, Apollo, who's creating this whole mess. See this?
My ship is overcrowded, and I have an epidemic on my hands.
Then they link depopulation, overcrowding with the epidemic. Like, why would they mention that? It's totally out of context, right? But there, you just heard it. So, Hilo doesn't give up. He keeps digging. And then the truth comes out that the doctor isn't giving them the cure. He's actually killing them.
Listen, would you give this to Mrs. King? This is,
He gives Mrs. King this bracelet from her son, Willie, the Willow. And it's basically a ring. It's a bracelet, but it's a ring, isn't it? It's a crown.
belonged to her son. I know she'd want it back.
Miss King, please.
I couldn't believe anyone could have that much hate inside of them.
If you thought Dr. Robert was dangerous, why let him treat your son? I mean, you said you were warned. He's killing them. It's right here. Here, see for yourself. This one, woman had simple appendicitis. She died on the operating table. Guy goes in for a cough. He dies of heart failure.
Heart failure. Unbelievable. Let's keep watching.
Guy goes in for a cough. He dies of heart failure. This guy's dirty. I think he's a liar, and I think he's killing people because he's a racist son of a bitch.
He was injected with a toxic bisphosphonate.
Now, obviously, you got a wrong reading here. Now, I don't know what else these people...
No!
He died because it was too late.
No, he didn't. He died of acute cell destruction.
The old man, Mr. Buckminster, died of the same thing.
There was no Betamucin in his system.
How was the virus invented? Did they make a cure? Look at me.
There it is, Chief. One set of rules for the aristocracy, and one set of rules for the rest of us.
Goddess of the Dawn.
Goddess of the Dawn. So Starbuck gives Adama Aurora. Pictured in this painting in Trump's 66th floor penthouse Everything points to Trump. It's shocking. It's literally shocking. Here's a close-up of the painting. And here is Aurora. She's out front. It's a little bit blurry, but these are the best images I could find. The white horses, Apollo riding on his white horses with the Aurora in the front. Aurora, the dawn, the morning star. Here's a different version of the painting, not the same one, but this is a common painting by many different artists. And here you see in this one, Apollo has the brown and white horses with Aurora, the dawn. And this is why I'm almost 100% sure he's going to win 2024, because he's got work to do.
I thought that it would be a nice figurehead for your model ship. She brings the morning star and a fair wind. A fresh start.
Thank you.
Now, at this point, at the end of season 3, 4 more Cylons are revealed. But here are the 4 here. And everyone thought they were humans. But they are the 4 of the final 5. But before the 4 emerged together, only 3 emerged together. These 3. And the last 2 is Colonel Ty and his wife, forming a pair. 2, 3, and 7 total. The Beast. Wow. Let's keep watching here. Now they realize that they're Cylons because they're the only ones who can hear a weird song coming through radio waves. In it, like programs them or triggers them. Let's keep watching here.
I don't really care what you do. There, go back. You almost had it.
But what?
That song. You don't hear that song?
Jason for dumb.
Trial Tactics and Strategies, page 273.
Smart man, you grandfather.
273237.
Best way to learn that is on a raptor. That means getting your hands dirty.
I hear it everywhere. I mean, but I can't really hear it. You know what I mean?
You hear that song?
Yeah. That's freaking me out.
Yeah, it's like you can grab just a part of the melody and then it goes away.